And we've also served over 30 real estate companies, right? And because we've done this for over 30 real estate companies, we have templates, we have guidelines and things you can do to become more effective in real estate sales, please. These are clients we served across various industries. And I'm an author of 5 books on sales, and I've been featured on a lot of media platforms to talk about successful selling. So if you give me 100% attention, I can guarantee 100% satisfaction. All right. I believe you have targets, isn't it? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then I'll see the person who can afford to pay for our services. But real estate is like this. I'm looking for a real estate prospect, right? Well, how do I start? 1. I want to move, but there's something here. Even if he doesn't have the resources, he probably knows somebody who has resources. Is that okay? Even if he hasn't bought real estate before, he probably knows somebody who can. So the point is, every Tom, Dick, Harry, Larry, Shari, Parry, Jerry, Carry, Dari, they need real estate. Is that okay? So because of that, the opportunities are far more than what is even available for people to key into. And that's what makes it one of the most easiest to sell. Now, the second thing to put this in perspective is this. For a lot of your competitors, they don't generate leads for them. They expect them to go and make available a prospect list, generate their leads, and get in the sales. But for your organization, leads are generated for you. So you're already a step ahead. Because of that, your closing should be better and should be faster. So what are the challenges you have faced that have stopped you from converting inquiries to sales or converting leads to sales? What are the challenges you face, please, from doing that, please? Quickly, tell me.
Sometimes generating the wrong leads.
Leads, not
generating the wrong leads.
The wrong leads. Now, when you say wrong leads, how many leads come in? Like, for example, when the leads come in, how many are they?
Okay.
For example.
For instance, 20 per weekend, per day.
20 per day.
In a weekend.
In a weekend or in a day?
In a day, in a weekend. We push it to 1 day per weekend.
Sorry, I'm not clear.
Okay, sorry. 20 leads per day.
20 leads per day. So if I get 20 leads in a day right now, how do I know they're the wrong leads? Because I called the 20 of them and none of them could afford to do business with us. Is that what you're saying? Now, how do you know they could not afford? Was it from the phone I could tell? Is it because maybe on the phone I was hearing, you know? What was I hearing on the phone? One at a time, please. Yes?
They say I can't afford.
They tell you I can't afford it. Really? 20 of them?
Yes. Sometimes 20 of them.
Okay, so some of them.
20 of them.
Okay, some of them say they can't afford it. Okay, what else do you hear?
I also hear it's not my location of choice. Like the location of your property is not the location I'm interested in.
Okay, what else do you hear again?
Sometimes you don't get a message from them. Maybe you read a message or you get a phone call. They don't
Okay.
So because the medium is internet generated, they click in a link and call to action.
Yes, please.
Sometimes some people randomly, even though we try to target, some people just click and come up or that they were never interested in the first place.
Okay.
So one or wonder why.
Okay. Have you closed? Has anybody closed from the leads you get online?
Sure.
From this coming?
Sure.
Who has closed from those leads, please? Can I see by show of hands? Everybody has. All right. When you close, can you tell me what happened? Was it that when you got on the phone with him, he said, "Oh wow, I'm looking for a property"? What was the conversation like?
Oh, the first deal I closed online is I called the prospect who was interested in the property, who had an inspection, and I was able to convince him.
Okay, so you called him, he was interested, you got the leads, you called, he was interested in the property. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes, you've closed online, yes, when you close, he was interested in the property. Yes. All right? He was interested in property. All right. So this means that unless the person says they're in the market for a property, we've not been able to close them. That's what you're trying to say? Understand my question, please. You have to present to me. This means that the times you got on the phone and they said, sorry, madam, are you in sales? Okay. When you got on the phone and the person said, I'm not in market for a property right now. Have you closed someone like that before?
Yes. Sometimes the interest is legit later.
That means you followed up. You called the list again until he was interested. Then you closed. That's what you're saying? Yes.
Sorry, this is our balance. There's something we call serious leads and unserious leads.
Okay.
Our technology.
Okay.
So we believe from experience, when you strike up a conversation with a client, even though the client is not purchasing immediately, you can tell that this client will somehow buy later or is interested. Classify them as serious. There are some from it's grey and it goes dark.
Okay.
So sometimes the ones who end up closing, they don't seem quote serious at the beginning, but you know they will buy in the long run.
All right, that's fine. Let's go into this, please, quickly. Please write this down. Write this down, please. The aim of a salesperson, please write it down. The aim of a salesperson is not to look for prospects who are interested. The goal of a salesperson is not to look for prospects who are interested. The goal of a salesperson is to look for prospects who are qualified. The goal of a salesperson is not to look for prospects who are interested. The goal of a salesperson is to look for prospects who are qualified. Now, if you always have to find people who are qualified or interested before you can close, your closing rates will be infinitesimal. It will be extremely small. Because think about this. The person you're looking for right now to buy from you, are you looking for somebody who the person is saying, honey, oh, in fact, we should buy a property very soon. We just received an inflow of 500 million. I think we should get a house, right? So let's hope that we see an ad online, then I click it. Then we can get a house. Or after the discussion, I'm at work that day and I see a panic ad and I click it. Oh wow! And I talked about a house the other day. Can you imagine this phone? Can you imagine these phones are intelligent? He heard me, so he brought the panic ad to me and I clicked it. Interested, and I get the call and I closed. What are the chances you find this number of people in a year? Very slim. So you can't plan with your strategy can't be to look for people who are interested or who are in the market for properties. There's another kind of buyer. He has funds in his accounts for whatever reason, investments, he has money saved, he's planning to do something with that money. Maybe he wants to relocate, or maybe he wants to start up another business, wants to expand his company. Scale of preference. In scale of preference, properties were not even there. Buying a house was not even there. His house is to sell, right? Off plan, isn't it? Or fully finished? Both. Fantastic. Buying a house was not even an option. But all of a sudden, he saw the ad. For some reason, he just thought, this ad got my attention. He clicked it. But he's not in the market for a property right now. This means he's not interested at the moment, but this guy has the money. If you're only looking for people who are interested, you will lose this category of people. And this is the category of people that can do business with you. So you're not looking for people who are interested, who are in the market for a property. If I come across you because you're in the market, thank God. But that can't be the strategy. The strategy should be, I want to find people who are qualified. Now, can you tell if somebody's qualified on the phone? No. But you can disqualify on the phone. And the only tool you can use to disqualify on the phone is maybe when you call the person, you heard, Oshodi, beggar. And then he says, sorry, I'm in a bus, I can't hear you. Can you call me back? Those are the only ways you can use to disqualify. There's no other things you use to disqualify. Even if you can disqualify, but you can't qualify to know if the person has financial capacity.
So that's the thing. Many of them are civil servants, and they tell you, I'm doing it for I'm a civil servant, I'm a teacher, this is what I have, this is what I can gather, 20 to 30 million. I think our properties are not really, the last speaker said, earning 5 million monthly, you can't literally own a property in some location.
Yes.
We know that for you to be able to get 80 million, when you've worked how many years and it's 20, 30, you can gather.
Yes,
it's literally not what we are looking at. Then our payment plan that is a little flexible for them might be our mortgage. And then the mortgage is something that the percentage interest rate now is 30%.
Yes.
It's more for an intentional person, not someone who is struggling with finance.
Yes.
So somehow you'll be growing, you as a salesperson, you'll be growing code. When the person is telling you all I have in life is 20 million.
Okay.
And then your property, the minimum is 18 million. Where will you start helping this person?
That's why I said don't ask about the budget question.
Okay.
Because somebody tells you his budget is 20 to 30 million, does that mean that's the amount of money he has?
You mean this guys?
Oh, okay.
For goodness sake, somebody calls you on the phone, a stranger, and the person is asking you what your budget is. Will you tell the person you can do business worth 500 million? on the phone with a stranger. Are you aware that Africans, Nigerians, we don't trust a lot? Are you aware? Even when you travel abroad, when you see other Nigerians, you may not even greet each other. Jumia, Konga, all these platforms, you had the issues, you saw the issues they all had with online businesses. What are the issues they've had? Trust factor. To bridge that trust factor, they now said, you know what, don't worry. When we deliver to you, you pay us. When they delivered, what happened? They killed them. Remember the story of the iPhones? The guy delivered the latest iPhones, 2. When he got there, gave them the package. They said, okay, Oga, it's time to pay. What did they do to him? They slaughtered him. Uber, Taxify, Bolt, they said, okay, no problem, you pay after the service, isn't it? After people enter the car, they get to the destination, they slit the throat of the bus driver, put him in a bin, and they go on, factor. So, because our trust factor is low, if you're trying to convert leads to sales, and the first thing you're doing is you're trying to engage the model over the phone, your closing rate will almost be impossible. If you're a call center, fine. However, anybody who is in the call center, your target will not be the way your target is. What's your target every month, please? Every salesperson, what's the target? 150 million every month. What's your target every month? Same thing. Target every month? 150 million every month. Good. So if your target is 150 million every month, the chances of you making 20 calls a day from the leads given to you, and with that, you close 150 million, it's almost impossible. Do you agree with me, please? Do you agree with me, please? 150 million every month, consistently. And all you do is make a phone call, and you meet somebody who says, yes, I'm interested, I'm ready to buy now. And you do that every month consistently. Is it possible, please? You've been in sales for a while, please just tell me. Give me your response, please. Is it possible? That means that the strategy you're using right now is not working. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with that it's not working? Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me that it's not working? Do you agree with that it's not working? You don't agree?
Optimal level. It's not working.
Okay, but it's working. Because how many sales do you make? The average salesperson in a year of 150 million monthly, how many units does he close? The average in your team?
So it depends on the type of property, the value of it.
No, it doesn't matter the value. The point is that a sale is still a sale, right? So even if it's a 30 million, 80 million, 100 million, 500 million, let's just count it as a sale, right? So the average person in a year of 12 months, meaning 12 units, who does 12 units a year? Does everybody do at least 12 units a year? On the average, does everybody do? Understand what I'm asking, please? It's a very simple question. In a year of 12 months, of a unit per month, average units of 150 million naira, who does up to 12 units in a year?
Most of them, they don't pay outright. Even
if it is a deposit, who did 12 units? Okay, please. If you did 12 units this year, can you stand up, please? Quickly. If you did 12 units this year, can you stand up, please? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Now, no, keep standing, please. Keep standing. If you did 11 units, can you stand up, please? Thank you so much. If you did 10 units, can you stand up, please? If you did 9 units, can you stand up, please? 8 units, please. 7 units, please. 12, 11, 7. 6 units, please. 5 units, please. 4 units, please. 4. 3 units, please. 4. 3 units, please. 2 units, please. 2. 1 unit, please. 1 unit, please. 1 unit, please. All right, thank you so much. Have your seat, please. Now, based on, ladies and gentlemen, understand where I'm going to, please. If your definition of working, right, is, if your definition of working is this, it's working. If your definition of working is this, it's working. If your definition of working is this, it's working. If your definition of working is this, it can't even be, because only 2 people from the entire team. Do you get what I'm saying? So because it's only insanity, right, that you keep trying to do the same thing and you want to get a different results. This means that if you enter this year and continue with this style, qualifying the same way, engaging prospects on the phone the same way, your results will be like this next year. Nothing will change. Physics, what's that law? A body will remain, I wish this was here, like giving me the, a body will remain in a state of rest until an external force has been applied. Things do not change by themselves. You have to change the approach. And I'm telling you that this approach is wrong. And why is it wrong? Because in communication, listen, in communication, 7% is content. Content is 7%. So think about it. When you're on the phone, what are you using? Content. 7%. Sorry. 7%, right? 38% is your tone of voice in any communication. 38% is your tone of voice. Then 55% is body language. Body language. In any communication, 7% is content, 38% tone of voice, 55% body language. Think about it. When we are communicating with prospects, we want to persuade them, right? We want to persuade them. And what we are using to persuade them is content. How are we going to persuade? With 7%. If I was going for a competition, a debate competition, I was A, the other person is B, and I scored 7%, and I was hoping to win the competition, and I'm on 7%. What are the chances I would win over the other guy? If the other guy just does 10%, he has won. Or 40%, he has given me a blast. A blast victory. So what you have to do now is move the conversation. To body language. And how do you move the conversation to body language? You move it by having a meeting. Because one of the ways to qualify prospects, you can only qualify prospects at the greatest level and greatest accuracy when you meet with them face to face. And I'll explain to you why. When you have a meeting face to face, you can qualify prospects and determine if they can do business with you. Now let's look at how to qualify prospects, please. If you want to qualify a prospect, what are you looking out for? Number one, I'm looking for financial capacity. Number one. Number two, urgency. Number three, decision making. I want to qualify a prospect. 3 things I want to look out for: financial capacity, urgency, decision making. I started by saying to you, the goal of a salesperson is not to find prospects who are interested. What's the goal of a salesperson? Find prospects who are qualified. And this is the thing you look out for when it's time to qualify prospects, please. When it's time to qualify prospects, this is what you look out for. This is what you look out for. Financial capacity, urgency, decision making. This is what you look out for. Anybody, I can make an uninterested prospect interested. You can make an uninterested prospect interested. You know, you've done that before, right? Yes. But can you make an unqualified prospect qualified? No. If you don't have financial capacity, I can't help you. If it's not urgent for you, I can't help you. If you're not the final decision maker, or you don't give me access to the other decision makers who are in your decision making process, I can't help you. But if I test you based on how I'll show you now, if I determine your financial capacity, I determine your urgency, that is, it's there. Your financial capacity is there. Decision making process, it's you alone, or it's you and your spouse, and I have a meeting with you and your spouse. Wow. Even if you tell me, I don't do real estate, I only do shares, I can change your mind. And there are techniques to change people's minds. So you're better off finding people who are qualified and not finding people who are interested. So if you get on the phone and you're calling people and hoping that they will be interested, you are not practicing sales. True selling, you're not practicing true sales. You're more of a call center. You're more of a call center. And please, don't just be a call center, because it's going to affect you in the long run. You'd have done this job for a few years, but you won't have any sales experience. Right? So focus more on moving the conversations to a physical meeting. And how do you do that, please? How do you do that? Yes, please.
I had a question, sorry.
Yes. Already?
No, it's just.
All right.
what you just said.
Yes, please.
Okay, so the way it works in Penec, we have properties in Lagos and Abuja.
Yes, please.
He's been by
Abuja.
my guy in Abuja that
Yes.
use the physical meetings to help me.
Yes.
I think it's not that way to or how do I have, if I want to, own my role, how do I handle it being in Lagos and trying to sell Abuja when I cannot meet this person? Just asking.
Oh, but you said that he's in Abuja for you, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
So he's saying in terms of the fiscal meeting, setting up that fiscal meeting,
he can help
be
it out, and I must appreciate it.
Yeah, but he's helping out and it's closing now. You know, how many sales did you close? He said 7, right? 4. Yeah, but he's helping out already.
No, he's even helping out individually for us that are
Okay.
Just asking, I want to own our role.
And have virtual meetings. Then Abuja is not fun. I can't travel to Abuja.
So in virtual meetings, can body language be?
Yes, if videos are turned on, please. If videos are turned on, because videos should be turned on. A virtual meeting with videos turned on, with turned off is a phone call. So don't insult your prospect by telling them to come for a virtual meeting when you could have just called them on the phone. So instead of doing that, please make sure make sure that videos are turned on, please. Don't have a virtual meeting and videos are not turned on. It's dangerous. But instead of having your a virtual meeting, if you've qualified a prospect for financial capacity, right, and you have 3 or 4, and you've qualified the way I will show you right now, there's no need having a virtual meeting. Go there. They would even appreciate you for flying in. And please don't fly in because you want to see one person. But if you're flying in like that, you want to have at least 3 or 4 meetings you've batched together that you're going to close at once. No need. See, Abuja is not far. I used to do prospecting in Ghana many years ago. I'll travel to Ghana in the morning, do prospecting, come back in the evening. So Abuja is not even far. So it shouldn't be a problem. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how do I move you from the phone call, please, to a physical meeting? Ladies and gentlemen, how do I move you from the phone call to a physical meeting? First of all, please notice, from phone call to face-to-face. And I've explained to you, if you're trying to sell on the phone, real estate on the phone, what are the chances that somebody who doesn't met you before will take 100 million and send to you on the phone? Will you send somebody 100 million on the phone? If you want to travel, just to travel, a small trip to a small town next by, and the flight ticket is 2.5 million, and the travel agent says ticket is 2.5 million, you met the person on Instagram, will you just credit the 2.5 million? You may not. You may even say, where is the office? You would even want to see the office at least before you credit for 2.5 million. How much more 100 million or 300 million? So if you're trying to sell properties on the phone, I always encourage people, if you have a call center here, it's fine, it will work for a call center, because the call center will be making about 2,000 calls maybe in a day on the average. So at least by the time you scramble through 2,000 numbers, you'll definitely come across 1 or 2 who will say, I'm in the market for a property. It's called time and chance, right? You will stop at the right time, you will meet them. That's fine, but not for a sales team, please. If you want the sales numbers to improve next year. So how do I move from phone call to face-to-face? Number 1, when I get you on the phone, ladies and gentlemen, please, you sell the company first. Sell the company. Don't sell your product, sell your company. Because people will do business with you. What is the order in which the prospect makes his decisions? The prospect makes his decisions, the prospects make their decisions in a certain order. The first thing the prospect will check or consider, number 1, do I like or trust you? This means when you get on the phone, how you speak, your mannerisms, the vibe you give on the phone. You can give off vibes on the phone. If you're sounding like you're hungry, you're tired, you haven't eaten lunch, you sound disgruntled, what would happen? You'll give up the wrong vibes on the phone, right? But if you stand and you smile and you speak like, wow, I'm excited to speak with you today. Thank you for reaching out to us at Penec. What's going to happen? From your tone of voice, the person will just like you. So I would have said sell yourself, but I would assume that, please, you should be smiling now. Isn't it? You should smile and be warm on the phone. So I didn't bother even mentioning that. The first thing should actually be selling yourself. The second order in which a client will make decisions to do business with you is, apart from do they like or trust you, they will ask themselves in their heads, do they like your company? If the person doesn't like your company, they won't do business with you. And don't think because they clicked, they like your company, please. Because if the person says, who is your MD? Have you heard that before? Who is your MD? And he mentions his name. They will say, what state is he from? Mentions the state. They'll say, oh, I don't do business with those people. They won't say it on the phone. They won't say it on the phone. But they will not want to do business with you anymore. So when you get on the phone with the prospect, please don't let the prospect really want to ask you any questions. Because the word questions in English language, man, are you following me, please? Man, are you following me, please? I hope you are, because you can see my thoughts have entered different rooms right now. The word question in English language is not question in politics. Neither is it question in sales. Please understand. In English language, what is a question? What's a question, please? What's a question in English? We all speak English, right? Come on, answer me now. What's a question in English? A request for an answer, right? Right? But in politics, is a question a request for an answer? If you ask the last election in the US, what's her name? Kamala. If you ask Kamala, what's your plan for the border this coming 2025? What would she say? She would say, I grew up in a middle-aged family where I had my mom, who was an average person, and we struggled a lot. And throughout that struggle, is she answering the question? No, because in politics, the meaning of a question is not what it means in English language. If you ask President Trump, what's the plan for the border wall? He would say, Biden for the past 8 years, for the past 4 years, they have destroyed this country. Has he answered the question? No. Why? Because a question in politics is not a question in English language. In the same way too, a question in selling is not a question in English language. If a person should ask you, how much is it? If you think that question is English language, you will tell him the price. But in sales, it's a disqualifying question. Do you get me, please? Because while you're trying to qualify the prospect too is also trying to disqualify the salesperson. And every question the prospect is asking is taking you away from the sale. Because questions in selling refer to tools that bring focus in the conversation, that bring direction in the conversation. So every question the prospect is asking is taking you away from the sale. But the questions the salesperson is asking, what's he doing? Is taking you towards the sale. So if you get on the phone with the prospects and the next thing he's asking you, yes, your company, where's your office? Where is it located? What's your MD's name? How long have you been around? Whatever answer you've given, ladies and gentlemen, he will use it to disqualify you. He will use it to disqualify you. Where's your office? Answer me, where's your office? You don't know where your office is? Answer me, please. Noban Street. Lagos, where is your office? Lekki Expressway. It's not even Eco Atlantic. Who's your MD? What's his name? What's your MD's name? What? Dr. Kennedy. He doesn't even have a PhD yet. How old is he? How old is your MD? How old is your MD? I see a young man. He hasn't seen life yet. How many projects do you have right now? Watch you. This is how you prospect things. How many projects do you have right now? How many projects do you have?
4,000 projects.
Oh, only 4. When did your company start? When? How many years ago is that? Just 13 years ago. And a bank is celebrating 80 years. You see, that's the conversation in the prospect's mind. So you don't allow a prospect to ask you questions. Because if they ask you questions, it will give them reasons why they shouldn't do business with you. So in sales, you're on the offensive. So when you get on the phone and the prospect says, good afternoon, am I speaking with Pen? Am I on to Penec Nigeria? Yes, please, you're on to Penec Nigeria. My name is, hope you don't mind, can I ask you a few questions? You take charge of the conversation. By the way, you're the one even calling safe. So it's not even the other way around, right? Yeah. You're the one even calling, isn't it? Good. So, okay. So my point is that take charge of the conversation. So if a prospect should ask you, how much is your property, please? How much is it?
3 bedroom, 85 million.
Okay. How much is your property? 3 bedroom. How much? Your 3 bedroom, sir. How much is it, please? Now, you see, price mentioned before value has been understood is a sale lost. Write that down, please. Price mentioned before value has been understood is a sale lost. price mentioned before value has been understood is a sale lost. What does that mean? This means once you mention your price, ladies and gentlemen, once you mention your price before communicating the value of what you're offering, the sale is gone. The sale is gone. Why is the sale gone? It is gone because there will be a disequilibrium in the prospect's mind. In the prospect's mind, he would say, it's too expensive, or it is too cheap. Therefore, the value can't be this good. However, when you communicate value first, you can put price in perspective. So price mentioned before value has been understood is a sale lost. With this new knowledge now, how much is it? Your 3-bedroom, how much is it? How much?
Okay, you said location, right?
How much is it, please? You can imagine, you have taken this time to say how much it is. I'll get off the phone. So how much is it, please?
It's located along Guarimpa Express.
Okay, I know it's located. I know it's located there, but how much is it, please?
It's secure. I'm calling the values of the area before I tell you. The value the client will get before I name the price.
Stand up, please. Let's do a role play quickly. I want you to watch this, please. Very important, please. All right. Thank you. What's your name, please? Usman. All right, Usman, so where is this project, by the way?
It's located around Guarimpa Expressway.
Okay, Guarimpa Expressway. Okay, what kind of units do you have there?
I will have terraces.
Terraces. Okay, how many bedrooms?
3-bedroom and 4-bedroom.
3-bedroom and 4-bedroom terraces. Okay, how much is your 3-bedroom terrace?
Actually, we'll be delivering the house fully finished with the complimentary 1-year insurance for the houses. And also, we're having so many amenities in the estate, like children play area, mini mart, and... Okay, but how much is the house? So that I can even know if it's something I can afford now. Depends on your mode of payment. I will now try to install it.
Okay, very good. Give me a round of applause, please. Very good. Very good. That's a good one. I like that. It was not where I wanted to be, but I like you're understanding the thinking, right? Very good. Yes, next person. You just pass to the next person. Yes. Are you in sales, please? Okay. Don't worry. Those of you that are not in sales, just be listening to us, right? Please, so that you will just practice very well. Are you in sales? Okay, sales. Are you in sales? Okay. I hope you're not denying. Denying also. All right. So, how much is it, please?
Okay, so we have 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom terrace duplex.
Where is it located?
Kuba Expressway.
You're in Abuja too?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how much is the terrace house, the 4-bedroom terrace? How much is it?
Okay, so we have strongly built houses in Abuja. We have 4-bedroom terraces, 3-bedroom terraces.
But how much is the 4-bedroom terrace? I think that's what I want, please.
Also depending on your budget, sir. How much are you willing?
No, but what is my budget? Tell me how much it is. So based on that, I can be able to tell you if something I can afford.
Okay, so it's within the range of 80 to 100 million. 80
to 100 million. Okay, that's too expensive for me. That's too expensive. All right, no problem. That's fine. I'll think about it. Thank you so much. Can you see this conversation? It didn't have to go like this. What should the conversation be like now? Ladies and gentlemen, this is what your conversation should be like. You need to take control of the conversation. Because you are not an errand boy or errand girl, right? When the prospect is asking you, where's your location, how much is it, he's leading the conversation. And as long as he's leading the conversation, you cannot close. It's almost impossible. You must lead the conversation. For nothing more. Hope you don't mind. Can I go ahead, please? Beautiful. Okay, I'll get to that shortly. In fact, that's the best part.
Why can't you tell me?
Oh, because I have to show you what it is we're offering. Then once I show you that, I will then allow you make a decision. But that's the best part. Most of our clients, they always like to know what the price is, and I leave it for when we are done with our questions. So can I go ahead, sir?
Okay, go ahead.
Beautiful. See, you insist like this. You insist like this. If the question keeps going and keeps saying, no, I don't want to talk to you, just tell me the price, then you know that you can't close that transaction. Leave that place. Because if you now mention the price, right, he won't even buy in the first place. See, the more people know your price and have not paid you, the weaker your brand will be in the marketplace. Because price is a disqualifier. Never forget that. Because once value has not been communicated before price is mentioned, it's a disqualifier. Why do you think your MD does a lot of heavy marketing? Have you seen your MD? Your MD does a lot of PR, aggressive PR to push the brand out there. So that when price is mentioned, it's not going to be a disqualifier. Yes, please.
So you said that most
once the price is out, you need to balance that, right?
Sorry, sir. Sorry.
You said all the price out there to limit the value.
No.
To reduce, set something to
In the course of you selling your products or service, right? The more you tell people your price with word of mouth and don't communicate commensurate value, it weakens your brand. Because one of the fastest ways to get your message out there is word of mouth. When somebody experiences you and they say things like, those people, they don't really have anything. They can't really place you where you are, what you're doing. But it's better you communicate value, you leave the prospect's place. They didn't even know the price, than for you to not communicate value and leave the prospect's place with only the price. You leave them the price. It's better you leave the meeting, but you left value, than for you to leave the meeting and only leave the price. That's what I'm trying to say. If you leave only the price, you're weakening the brand. Because the message out there is that nothing's fantastic about what you have to offer.
Okay, so I want to ask.
Okay.
We normally have our price on our website.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so I want to ask, is that also going to be a disadvantage to us? Or should we just preach about the properties and the values they give and put the price out there?
Beautiful.
On our website.
Beautiful. So on your website, it's always better, right, to put the value of what it is that you have out there than to put your prices. Because if you put the value, that way people can even make inquiries and say, oh, how much is this one? That means you can tell that they got the information and they were interested. Then when they make an inquiry, at least we can now close. Unlike if they look at it, they're not even sure. You see, what amount of text can really explain what we do? Is text sufficient to explain what we do at Penic? Is it sufficient? No. It's not sufficient. So when you put out text there and put price there, he won't even read all the things. Guess what he'll go to? Price. And he will just say, 90 million in this location. And somebody else is selling at a same place for 60 million. It's overpriced. But he didn't know that there's a reason why our price is 90 and why the competitor is selling at 60. He didn't allow us to explain, and he has judged us. So the price is a disqualifier. Don't let people disqualify you because you keep mentioning your price. Make sure that the value is communicated first. And the way I've shown you, oh, the price, I'll get to that, sir. And that's why you see your tone of voice is important. When you sell, don't sell like some people, when they sell, they just sell as if they're tired. Please, sir, let's go. Let's do our role play game. Let's go. Just ask me what the price is for the property.
So what's the price of?
The price is, okay, sir, I'll get to that shortly. Hope you don't mind. Can I ask you a few questions so that I can be of help to you?
Are you trying to hide the price?
Can you see that? Can you see the question has changed now? Are you trying to hide the price because of my tone of voice? But when you're engaging a prospect, and it says, go again.
Yeah, what's the price of the property?
Oh, in fact, sir, I'll get to that. That's the best part. Hope you don't mind. When we meet with our clients, we like to ask a few questions. So hope you don't mind. I can ask you a few questions, maybe 3 to 4 questions, to see how we can be of help to you, sir.
Will those questions come after you've answered my own?
Oh, yes. No, sorry?
Will the questions come after you've answered my own question?
Okay, no, I'll ask my questions first, sir. This is what we do for most of our clients. Do you observe I always say most of our clients? Why do I say most of our clients? Because it's called the bandwagon effect, isn't it? Because if he realizes that for everybody I meet, this is the process we follow, he will be subjected to that process. Have you called MTN, Glow, all these platforms before, and you say, hello, you debited my account with 4,000 naira. Can I get a refund, please? Will they answer you? No, because in sales, a question is not supposed to have an answer. It just brings direction in the conversation. What would they say? They'll say, thank you so much for calling MTN. Hope you don't mind. Can I ask you a few questions first? Where are you calling from, please? Can I have this your registered phone number? Okay. They'll ask you all their questions first because they want to take control of the conversation. And guess what? While they're asking your questions, your anger will be dissipating like this. It will be dissipating. So, as salespeople, we must be the ones asking questions. Lead the conversation. And the questions you ask must be planned. It must be planned. It's not freestyling. You don't freestyle your questions. It must be planned. And this is where leadership comes in. Leadership provides direction for the sales team, right? These are the questions we ask in our team when we get on the phone so that we can be able to get the best response from the prospects. All right. So, how much is it, please?
Good afternoon, sir. So I would like to ask you a few questions. First of all, I'll get to the price straight.
Okay. Why questions, by the way?
This one will do for most of our clients.
Fantastic. Give a round of applause, please. You're a fast learner. That's so good. Yes, please. So how much is it, please?
Okay, so I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
But I'd like to tell you more about the property.
Tell me more about the property. Never. I'd like to ask you a few questions to understand you better, or your preferences, or how it can be of help to you. It shouldn't be telling them about the property. Please. The prospect must do the talking first before you start doing the selling.
I'm trying to let them know why they should buy. Before telling them basically.
But see, if you see, marketing and selling are not the same thing, right? Ladies and gentlemen, please look at my screen, look at my board here. Marketing versus selling, are they the same thing? No. They are not the same thing, right? Let me tell you what the major difference is. Layman's language. Marketing is announcing. Marketing is creating awareness. Marketing is telling them what we can do. That's what marketing is about. That's why the billboards, marketing, the websites, marketing, the flyers, marketing, the ads on social media, marketing. But marketing alone may not be enough to close the deals. Do you agree with me?
Yeah, sure.
That's why you hire a sales team. Sales should not do the work of marketing. Because if sales does the work of marketing, what happens? Sales will slow down. What's the role of selling? Closing. Identifying the needs and closing. Marketing has announced, hey, we are here. Hey, we can do this for you. Hey, when sales comes, sales says, all right, we can do that for you. However, we like to make it bespoke to who you are. So can I understand you better so that we can make sure that we, out of all the things we are offering, because marketing says we are doing so much, we can't give you, you're not able to get everything at once. But out of everything we are doing, can I get to understand you so that based on who you are, I can know whether you're a square peg, and I can give you the square hole products. I can know if you're a triangle, I can give you the triangle solutions. I can know if you're a circle, and I can give you the circle solutions. But if you don't do that, and you just come to market with you as a salesperson, you do marketing. That means you carry the square, the triangle, the round, everything, and you say take. And he'll be like this. I can't add myself. I can't carry my circle and put myself in a circle. Somebody needs to put me inside. So the person is stuck. He can't make up his mind. So when marketing versus selling, a salesperson must be careful not to do the work of marketing and go and give so much information. The prospect will be confused. He'll be indecisive. He won't be able to move. He'll be paralyzed. So what are you supposed to do? Ask a few questions. Understand who he is, where he's coming from, where he's going to, how you can be of help to him. When you ask a few questions, he now says, oh, really? So based on all these things you've said right now, you'll be able to tell, oh, this is what would fit him. Then you can now sell only one product and explain that one product properly, in depth, and get him to make a decision. But if you don't do that, you will be trying to explain your 4 projects, all of them, but you will never get to explain any in depth, any at a deep level, which would affect how they do business with you. Is that okay? Yeah. So marketing and selling are not the same thing, please. So you want to focus on making sure that you do only selling. And selling means you're going to ask questions, right? Ask questions, identify the needs. When you've identified the needs, you can now match. You can now match. So when you get on the phone, ladies and gentlemen, what I've shown you now, when you get on the phone, please sell the company. Why are you selling the company? Because you want to be able to sell the appointments. You want to be able to sell the appointments. So you sell the company so you can sell the appointments. And how do you sell the appointments? You give 2 dates. You give 2 dates. Sir, do we do tomorrow 9 a.m. or do we do Thursday 2 p.m.? Why are you giving 2 dates? He would move in his thoughts from yes or no to should I do 2 p.m. tomorrow or do I do 9 p.m. Thursday? He would be thinking between the two. Instead of thinking between yes or no, it will be Thursday, tomorrow or Thursday, tomorrow or Thursday. Instead of yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. So don't say, sir, anytime that's convenient for you, we can meet. Never. Just 5 points to sell the company. 5 points. Okay. Quickly, please. You even have to know how to use a call plan. I don't know. You guys don't have this anymore. They talk like people. Right now, what are the 5 things you have there? Number 1?
Okay, 1, we are a real estate company into investment, development, and management.
What's your first point, please?
We're a real estate company that specializes in residential estate and we're been in business for over a decade.
What's your first point?
We're a real estate firm that provide affordable luxury homes.
Okay, but you guys, your points are not strong. Oh. I thought, see, when we sell, we do not sell our similarities, we sell our differences. So this means that there are competitors are doing what you're doing, right? So if you say things like we're a real estate firm into housing and development, other companies are into housing and development. Other companies are into affordable housing. So I thought you'd have said something stronger, but no problem. Let's see the second one. What's the second one, please?
Okay, we have been in existence for over a decade.
Okay.
We've had over 1,000 homes.
Fantastic. We've been in business for over a decade. Yes. I like that word. You didn't say 10 years. Over a decade. And we've delivered over 1,000 homes. Fantastic. What do you have for number 2, please?
We have properties spread across Abuja, Lagos, and Houston, Texas. Okay,
we have properties spread across Abuja, Lagos, and Houston, Texas. The way you communicated it's not sweet enough. Abuja, Lagos, Houston, Texas. There's something disjointed about it, but it's fine.
We're a global brand. We have property across Lagos, Abuja, Owerri, and Houston, Texas.
Okay, we're a global brand. We have properties
across.
Okay, yes. Number 3, what do you have there, please?
Okay, we've been ranked best-selling real estate firm across a number of years.
Okay, we've been ranked the best-selling real estate firm for
Nigeria.
In Nigeria for how many years?
Across a number of years.
How many years now?
4. For
4 years. Oh, that's a good one. Yes, what do you have there?
We're a secured real estate firm that protects you from any liens with support of our credible title documents.
All real estate companies do that. Please, don't even mention that.
We will be in business for long and we have over 12 projects so far.
12 projects?
So far.
Fully completed and delivered. 12 projects.
Both land and housing projects.
That doesn't sound exciting, but it's fine. But I like this one, right? What you said, we're what?
Best-selling real estate firm.
Okay, best-selling real estate firm. So what are the ones we've picked now? We've picked some right now. What did we pick as the best ones? We said, number 1.
We've been in existence.
Over a decade.
Over a decade, right, in business? And delivered over 1,000 homes, isn't it? What do you have there quickly?
Over the years, we have made over 10,000 people.
Okay, good. We've made over 2,000 people homeowners, right? You see, can you see that in sales, in sales, discretion, hear me please, discretion destroys the sales process. Discretion destroys the sales process. Allowing people use their discretion is a dangerous thing in selling. If I just told you sell the company and I said you work in panic, let me allow you use your discretion and come up with how to sell the company, would you have produced this? Discretion is the problem. In sales, we don't use our discretion. What do? We use a script. Everything you're going to be using should be delivered to you to use. When you can follow a sales process consistently, you will be powerful enough to now know when to play with your discretion, and it will be the right discretion. Have you seen people? Have you told someone to use their discretion before and they did nonsense? Have you seen that happen before? Because they didn't have the power to do that, because they didn't have a foundation. So when you set up a sales process, it establishes the foundation. Something like this now is a process you can follow. So when I want to sell Pennant to you, I say, oh, Mr. Prospect, we have over a decade we've been in business for over a decade with over 1,000 homes delivered. We've been ranked the best-selling real estate firm in Nigeria for 4 years. We're also a global brand with properties in Nigeria and the United States of America. then you try to book the meeting. 5 may be too much to say over the phone. When you now meet the prospect face to face and you want to introduce yourself, right? You can start this again, then complete this last 2. What are the last 2? We build family-oriented projects. This means that our plan is such that we have the kids and parent lifestyles in mind. Over 2,000 people have become homeowners with beautiful reviews. So your tone of voice, when you get to 1,000 homes, you must say it with some emphasis, right? 4 years emphasis, because in communication, 7% is words, 38% is what? Tone of voice. Global brand, Nigeria and USA, emphasis, right? Family-oriented projects. So over 2,000 people have become homeowners. We emphasize on those parts in your communication. I have to come up with a methodology to be able to determine financial capacity from the beginning, and this one works. It works all the time. It never fails. So, what else again? How do you know if your client has financial capacity? Thank you very much. So good. His current residence. Where does he live right now? Where does he live right now? What else again? Financial capacity. How do you know if your client has financial capacity? This is not enough. There's a lot more. Yes? Thank you. Travel experience. What's your name, please? Can you give Joshua a round of applause, please? Thank you, Joshua. Travel or lifestyle, right? What else again, please? Somebody who says, if you get on the phone with a prospect and he says, sorry, I'm busy. I just came back from France and I'm traveling to Romania right now. In fact, next week I'm going to the US to sort out a few things, and I'll be back because I'm going to stop at. I'm just mentioning countries. That could be a sign that there's some cash flow here. Is that not so? Is that not so? But is that enough? Is that enough, ladies and gentlemen? Is that enough on its own to determine financial capacity? No. So don't fall into the trap. Don't fall into the trap of business cards, fancy clothes or cars, big friends. I used to have a client many years ago. The guy would say, I just came back with a private jet. I was with you, mentioned some high profile people. Man, but this guy was always boboing. Ladies and gentlemen, current residence. Don't say because he's living at Eco Atlantic automatically his financial capacity. Be patient. Check properly. Travel or lifestyle. What else again, please?
If I want to tell you the investment history.
Thank you. Man, can you clap for him, please? Beautiful. Assets/investment history, isn't it? Assets/investment history. Beautiful. There should be one more. Sorry? Mode of payments. What kind of, is it? Maybe he's using Bitcoin.
Like if I say, I'm making an outright payment for.
No, but you know about that qualifying happens long before we get there.
Okay.
Long before we get there. What else, please? We are also not looking for people who are freshers. We're looking for people who have invested in real estate before now. Is that not so? Are you looking for people who are fresh? They want to buy their first house. Are those people you're looking for? Are you looking for fresh people who want to move to that, who want to buy their first house? Are you looking for those people?
I think we are looking for
Hey, good. Don't worry. Just let's leave that. So we don't go in a different direction. Don't worry. Let's just leave this on us. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, look at this carefully, please. If you meet a prospect who has professional rank, appearance, and social circle, he most likely will have financial capacity. If you meet somebody who has appearance, current residence, stays maybe body on Koi, travels a lot, he most likely will have financial capacity. Match it another way, social circle, assets, you would always find something. Check across 3 levels. Don't qualify based on one thing. I'll give you a story. A real estate company was doing some work for. A lady said, just a practical example. She goes to the banking hall, she sees this man, he's sharing dollars to people to the staff across the counter and so on. And she says, man, this guy has money. And I said, does that mean he has money? Because he's sharing money in the banking hall. He said, no, hold on. I waited for him outside. When I waited for him outside, the car that came to pick him up was the latest Lexus Jeep of that year. Ladies and gentlemen, what's that? Toys. One. I said, does that mean he has financial capacity? She says, no, not yet. But when I walked up to him and I introduced myself, we exchanged cards. He was head of oil and gas for Cross River State Government. Professional rank. I said, does that mean he has financial capacity? He said, when I booked the meeting, he said I should meet him in his hotel room. I go to a hotel, and when I enter his room, he's seated with the governor of Delta State, social circle, financial capacity determined. Do you get that now? So when it's time to determine financial capacity, you will see that you can't determine this on the phone, right? But you can disqualify the prospects on the phone because of some other factors that we mentioned earlier. So you want to check across these levels.
Can we agree that it takes a level of conversation to elicit this information?
That's what he said. And that's what helped me come up with this. I said, it's only through interaction. See, there are some things you can see, right? Like maybe when you walk into an office to meet a prospect right now, and you can see, for example, maybe he has business expansion plans, for example. Maybe he has business expansion plans. And he's talking about business expansion plans. You can see it. Without even talking, maybe you already see signs that, these guys have financial capacity. For example, I entered the company one day and all the staff had the latest Mercedes cars. That could just be that, man, I've already seen one box ticked, but I wouldn't just with that run and say, I've seen a prospect, let me close. You want to still look out for other things. And when would you find all these things? You find it at the point where you said, Mr. Prospect, I'll get to that shortly. Hope you don't mind. I can ask you a few questions to see how I can be of help to you. When you ask your first question and you're listening, that's when you'll be looking out for all these things. Begin the conversation, close-ended questions, close the conversation. This means that when it's time to close the sale, after qualifying, you ask close-ended questions to close the sale. But you use open-ended questions to begin the conversation and get the prospect to talk. Question. Give an example of an open-ended question. Just give an example quickly. A sample open-ended question. Close-ended questions. Questions you can answer with a single syllable. What time is it? 1 p.m. Closed-ended. What did you have for lunch? Rice. Closed-ended. Where do you work? Panic. Closed-ended. You're paying now, right? Closed-ended. What name do you want on the offer letter? Closed-ended. Those are closed-ended questions. What about open-ended questions? Questions you ask to begin the conversation and get the person to talk. Open-ended.
Can I meet you, sir?
Okay, good. Someone says, can I meet you, sir? And the person says, I'm here. Yes? Open-ended questions. Quickly, please. Because of time.
So I work with
Open-ended.
myself.
Okay.
To the person.
Okay.
And maybe if the person is eating or doing something, I'll just like, I don't know if you mind, I'll join you.
To eat seafood.
No, like to keep you company. I've met people like that. They don't want to talk to you at first, but because of the way you approach them, so they will tell you just okay, and sit down and join them.
Okay. Open-ended question. Another example. Thank you. Open-ended.
What kind of property are you looking for?
Okay, when you say what kind of property are you looking for, the conversation already has now tilted towards no longer on trying to understand the prospects. It's now about the sale. So the first conversation to have, please, should not be about the sale. It should be about understanding who the prospect is. Now, when you ask open-ended questions, a good open-ended question and a general open-ended question people normally ask is, sir, how has business been in this economy? Or how has business been for you? That's what some people would ask, right? But if I ask you, sir, how has business been? I have 5 moments. If I ask you, sir, how has business been? What would you say? You say fine. Is that not what you say? You say fine, right? But if I rephrase that question using proper open-ended questioning techniques, I can move it from how is business to a better response you give me than just fine. Because when I ask you how is business, it's like a closed-ended question. Fine. But what if I said, Mr. Prospect, in the last 8 months, Nigerians have had it tough because of the increase in fuel price, because of the challenges with the dollar or with the devaluation of the naira. Looking through your business online, I noticed that some growth has happened in your organization. And I can see, when I came in, I also observed how the environment is. I can see that your business seems to be thriving amidst these challenges. I'll be glad to hear from you. Just tell me one or two things that have worked for you at this time. Can you share with me, sir? When I ask my question like this, will he say fine? He will start to talk to me. In psychology, they call it the Freudian slip. The Freudian slip means if you allow a prospect talk long enough, what is in their heart will come out of their mouth. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So have you asked somebody a question before, and while the person was talking, the person went off point to the question and started talking about something personal or other issues? Why? Because out of the abundance of the heart, what is really pressing to them will start to come out of their mouth. And one of the ways you can get that is by using the principle of the longer the question, the longer the prospect's answer will be. The shorter your question, the shorter the prospect's answer will be. So we always encourage you that when you go for a sales meeting, the first question you want to ask is a pre-planned long question like I've set up for you. Have you watched Christina Mampo on CNN and how she's able to ask questions? She always uses the strategy of long question, long answer. If you check the interview of her and President Buhari doesn't talk a lot. Very introverted. But when she came on his interview, she used the same principle. Long question, long answer. And he ended up talking a lot. So if you use this principle I'm showing you right now, long question, long answer, automatically the prospect will be predisposed and preconditioned to start to talk. And while the prospect is talking, you apply listening techniques. Listening techniques like nodding. Wow. Taking notes. Not writing with your phone or tablets, like a pen and paper. By the way, because of what you sell, there are certain kind of pens you can't hold in those kind of meetings. Because you're talking about 300 million, 100 million, you can't hold big biro. You know what I'm saying now? Neither can you hold Tunde Words Aramide kind of notepad. You can't hold those kind of things there. It has to be a proper leather-bound notepad, right? Because because of the amount you're selling, isn't it? Good. So you get on the phone, so you're listening and you're nodding. And it's okay. Oh, okay. So by the way, sir, how many staff do you have, please? This is not a new question. I have 4 questions to ask you. I've asked the first one. But in the first one, I feel like, okay, sir, how many staff do you have, please? It won't sound like I'm asking him another question. Because if you ask too many questions, it becomes an interrogation. And the way you remove it from being an interrogation is that you use a different tone of voice to ask to get clarity and to take the conversation off to getting more information to know his status in all these areas. Does that make sense, please? Does that make sense, please? For urgency, principle is pretty much easier. For urgency, the litmus test for urgency is if the person tells you, I'm waiting for I'm expecting one payment from somewhere. When it comes in, I'll be able to buy your property. You've qualified that he has financial capacity, but he's telling you that I'm waiting for one payment from somewhere. Please, that's where it says to let you know that he's not going to do business with you because it's not urgent enough. If the person also says something like, sir, there's going to be a price increase shortly, and the price increase begins next week. So we're hoping we can key in, at least to make a deposit so that we can secure you for some of the properties we have available. And he says, no, don't worry. Even if it increases, I'll buy them. Litmus test. He will never buy, right? So your competitors are not other real estate companies. Remember, your competitors are other things the prospects could have used that amount of money for. So that's why when you sell, you must use urgency very well. Let him know that the projects are not unlimited. Whether based on pricing, whether it's based on the perfect units based on the view, right? Maybe based on the availability of the type of units. Maybe the 2 beds, we have only 1 left. The 3 beds, we have only 4 left. The 4 beds, we have, you have to have something to use to engage and create urgency. But don't lie. Don't lie. When you lie when you sell, you bring darkness into the sales process. Don't lie. Don't bring darkness into it. How long it took you to get the meeting? Don't say things like, Yuri, but it took me 3 months to get this meeting. Even if it took you 3 months, in fact, if you're under pressure that it took you so long to get the meeting, it could be a sign that the prospecting is not enough. So if you're prospecting enough, you're not supposed to feel that pressure. It's supposed to be that I can afford to reschedule this meeting because you have a lot of prospects you're engaging. So once you're not speaking to the decision maker, reschedule. Why? Because if you don't and you try to sell to somebody who is not the final decision maker, you will be doing what we call crusader work. You know what crusader work is? You will clear the road for somebody else to just walk in and collect the business from you. So by the time he gets home and he says, okay, a company, one panic met me, they said they are, what are those 5 things? You mentioned them, right? Those 5 things you mentioned to sell the company. And I think they're a very good company. So the guy said that they also have 4-bed terraces at Guarimpa. So I think something we can key into. She will say, okay, really? Okay, how much are they selling it? They said 100 million. It's so expensive. Don't worry, my colleague in the office, she does real estate by the side. She says she has 4-bed terraces. Hers goes for 70 million. So we can save ourselves 30 million. That 30 million, we can send it to Johnny for his school fees when he's going abroad. So that's what we should do. Okay, that's fine. So you're sure of your cousin, right? Yes, I'm very sure of her. She's really good. She gets to the office. All right, Sandra, so we're ready. Let's buy that property. 70 million. We'll credit you tomorrow. What have you done? You did crusader work for Sandra. Don't do that. Once the person you're speaking to is not the final decision maker, reschedule the meeting. Because the most important thing to look out for in a prospect is financial capacity. When you find financial capacity, you must be careful, because there are not many that have it. So when you find them, local balance, we die here. You know what that means? That means when we find them, we are not going anywhere. We'll be very careful because we don't want to lose them. Follow a sales process. Sales process means qualify, give value, communicate value, sell the company in a systematic order. When you're done, if you're trying to close and you notice that this man is busy, the close is hard. Oh, sir, what are your concerns? I wouldn't even suggest inspection. I'll say, sir, what are your concerns, please? Well, I'm not just, let me just think about it. Oh, okay, sir, what do you like the most about what I've said so far? Just tell me what you like the most. Okay, I'm trying to get you to talk, because if I can get you to talk, I can hear what the problem is.